Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the SWAS, continuing on with bowl season, R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl. We got Georgia Southern versus Sam Houston. Let's go. Welcome to the SWAS. Hey, get the sauce. All right, like I said, we got Georgia Southern against Sam Houston State here. Sam Houston now catching 4.5. That number's down from 6. Total sitting at 48.5 pretty much across the board. Let's take a look at the pie charts, and according to the data, action coming in pretty split on this one. About 60% of the tickets on Sam Houston State. Money slightly leaning towards Georgia Southern. As I always say, take this data with a grain of salt. So let's get into this matchup, and honestly, this is a really tough one. So Sam Houston State, Casey Keeler, head coach, he's gone. He took the job over at Temple, so he will not be coaching in this game. Same goes for the defensive coordinator, Skylar Cassidy. He's gone as well. So the OC is taking over. The offensive coordinator from this year is going to be the interim head coach for this game. They have 22 players entering the transfer portal. 22. Now, the good news for Sam Houston State, based on what I'm reading, it seems that most of these players are going to play in the game. It's Sam Houston State's first bowl game. Obviously, they just joined the FBS. So I think, based on what I'm reading, Sam Houston State should pretty much have their full lineup out there. And on the Georgia Southern side, there's actually not many pieces entering the portal. So we pretty much got these two teams at full strength, I think, based on what I'm reading. Anyway, let's match them up on the field. Georgia Southern's offense against Sam Houston State's defense. Sam Houston State should have the slight edge here. 10th in yards per play, 80th in success rate. Georgia Southern, 93rd and 72nd. What you like to see if you're betting Sam Houston State in this one are the pass defense numbers. 3rd in yards per pass attempt allowed, 34th in success rate per dropback, 27th in effective pass. The reason that's significant is Georgia Southern's trying to throw the ball. Clay Helton's the head coach. You know they're trying to throw the ball. So the fact that Sam Houston State's been so elite against the pass, you love to see it if you're betting the Bearcats in this game. Now, in their last 5 games, Georgia Southern has been moving the ball. They have been scoring points. 25.6 points per game, over 45% success rate, 5.58 yards per play. Solid offensive numbers here. Although we do have to question the strength of competition a bit here in this stretch. Old Dominion's a bad defense. South Alabama's a bad defense. Troy is a bad defense this year. Not usually, but this year it's been pretty bad. Coastal, not a great defense. App State, bad defense. So they've seen a lot of bad defenses. Not that Sam Houston State's defense is elite. They play in Conference USA. But I would probably take Sam Houston State's defense above these 5 teams. And Sam Houston has really locked it down defensively to finish out the season. In their last 5 games, they're allowing just 13.2 points per game, under 4 yards per play. And look at their numbers specifically against the pass. 111 passing yards allowed per game, 4.2 yards per attempt. Success rate per dropback, under 33%. Those are elite numbers against the pass in their last 5 games. Now, if you look at their schedule, it does make a little bit of sense. Kennesaw State, 0 passing attack at all. Jacksonville State runs the ball. Liberty, pretty much a rushing offense. Louisiana Tech does throw the ball a little bit, so there's one. FIU, if you remember, Jenkins was hurt in that game. He started, he left early. He was like 1 for 9. We weren't even sure if he was going to play. He was banged up heading into the game. So FIU was not at full strength offensively in this one. So they've had a very fortunate schedule to put up those elite numbers against the pass. Georgia Southern is definitely going to be the toughest test in terms of a passing attack. To me, the X factor is right here. Georgia Southern's offensive line against Sam Houston State's defensive front. Georgia Southern's been great in pass protection so far this year. 30th in pressure rate allowed, 62nd in sack rate, 21st in pass blocking grade. Against Sam Houston State, who's done a pretty good job pressuring quarterbacks so far this year. 59th in pressure rate, 68th in sack rate, 34th in pass rush grade. Who's going to win this battle? This is huge because J.C. French, night and day difference when given a clean pocket and when pressured. If Sam Houston State is able to pressure J.C. French in this game, Sam Houston State's probably live. But if they can't, Georgia Southern should definitely be able to score some points. If you're asking my personal opinion on that, I would probably take Georgia Southern's offense. I think the offensive line has seen a little bit of a stronger schedule playing in the Sun Belt rather than Conference USA. Also with Clay Helton there calling the plays versus Sam Houston State, who's got an interim head coach. and missing their defensive coordinator. So I think Georgia Southern's offense should be able to move the ball. Now we flip it over to the other side, and this is the part where we just say, what the hell? Or I'll speak for myself. This is where I have no clue. You got Georgia Southern's defense against Sam Houston State's offense. Both of these units have been pretty bad this year. Georgia Southern defensively 120th in yards per play, 117th in success rate. Sam Houston State offensively 105th and 116th. Like I said, both of these units have definitely struggled. Look at the FEI ratings. Georgia Southern defensively 86th, Sam Houston State 112th. And I want to bring up the strength of schedule here. Look at the offenses that Georgia Southern has seen so far this year. These are their OFEI ratings. These are the OFEI ratings for Georgia Southern's opponents this season. 12th, 59th, 9th, 83rd, 64th, 93, 67, 66, 89, 88, 73. They haven't seen a single offense not in the top 100. Sam Houston State is ranked 112th. So this will be by far the easiest test for Georgia Southern's defense, who's had a rough year. They played a lot of pretty solid offenses. Sam Houston State offensively has been terrible, especially down the stretch. In their last 5 games, 14.6 points per game, 4.26 yards per play, 35.3% success rate. They've been terrible offensively to finish out the season. So yeah, their offensive coordinator is still there to coach this game, but this offense has been terrible. So even though Georgia Southern's defense has been pretty bad, I actually don't hate the matchup. I think they can look pretty good here, which is why when it comes to betting this one, it'll only be Georgia Southern. I really don't trust the defense, so it would probably be Georgia Southern team total over or Georgia Southern minus 4.5. Don't feel very strongly about this game, if I'm being honest, but that's the way I go with this one. Live show 4 p.m. Eastern time. If you're able to make it, we'd love to see you in the comments. Let's have ourselves a good Thursday here. Please remember to bet responsibly. Hit me up in the Discord if you need me.